I've really tried to start getting bread out again. I was like, man, bread just makes me feel like shit. It just does.
Dude, it
So
makes a
yeah,
lot of us feel like shit. It's so
yeah.
delicious, but
Oh
yeah,
my God, I
it makes
love it.
us
I'm
feel
like,
like shit.
why does it have to taste so good? I mean, there's nothing like a hot bread. I mean, telling you, but I was like, man, I just can't feel like this anymore. So, and it just brings me back full circle back to your question. I just remember, even though I felt like crap, I was like, I just want to eat. You get to the place where you just don't care anymore. I was like, I just don't care anymore. I'm going to
Yeah.
eat what I want. I don't care. Like, I don't care if I weigh 500 pounds. I don't give a crap. So,
Mhm.
and then, like I said, I got older and I was like, then you just start changing. You're like, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I don't want
Right.
to, there's got to be some kind of solution.
Yes, didn't even graduate, don't have a blue check, not verified, but when I go out, I feel satisfied. Cause I'm hot and pretty and I got nice, hot and pretty and I got nice teeth, hot and pretty and I got nice, thought that.
Welcome back to our Sleep Life podcast. I am your host, Mel. And today we got a patient story. Yes, I love stories and figuring out how everything transpired for them because we're so different. But some of us, we all have the same surgery, but the outcomes are different. The whys are different. And I just want to get in it with Josie because I got to finally meet her in person at retreat, give her the biggest hug ever. And we got to talking, and I was like, I got to have her on the pod. So, Josie Wilson, welcome to the podcast.
Woohoo! I'm so excited to be here. Yay. My very first podcast. So one of
Ooh,
many, I hope. Yes.
yes, I'm popping her cherry,
Yeah, that's
guys.
right. Whoop, whoop. Yay. That's been a
I
minute, but
love it, right? Who knew it could happen
yeah, who
again?
knew? Who knew?
I love it. So, yeah, let's talk about it. So, guys, she is a weight loss surgery patient. So, tell everybody, like what surgery did you have and what made you have surgery?
I had this sleeve 3.5 years ago, July 5th, 2022. So I'm going on 3.5 years. Um, and I think for me, it was because I had been on the diet roller coaster. It just seemed like my whole life since I was 16. It was lose 70, gain it, lose 20, gain it. And I just never could keep it off. It was always that cycle. And I just got tired of it. And I saw a girl one day that had it and she'd lost like 150 pounds. And I went home and just started researching, and it took me a couple months, because you get scared or you're nervous and you don't know anything
Yes,
about it.
yes.
You hear when you're not in it, when you're just on the outside, you hear all the horror stories or, that's the easy way out or that's and I was that too. I was like, oh, I would never do that. Like years ago, I was like, I'd never do that. That's not for me. Like, that's the easy way out as I'm dying on the treadmill on another diet on another thing, so it just takes education, I think, to realize like, hey, this really is going to work. And I just thought it's this or nothing because I had turned 50 and I was like, I'm tired of this. So I got on
Yeah.
and searched and finally said I made my mind up. And I didn't tell anybody and I had made my mind up. And then I sat down with my husband and said, you're either on, he's like, you don't need to do that. And I said, yes, I do. Because I'd hit it, like straight black clothes, never any color, never anything. And I just hit it real well. And I said, I want to do this for me. And I said, you're either
Yeah.
on board or you're not. It was one of those like, you're either going to be with me or not. And then he got on board and that was good. So,
That was good.
yeah.
I love
Yes.
that because you said so like you started really dieting at 16 and then you had surgery when you're 50. So that's a long time to deal with a yo-yo dieting, with dealing with going up and down in your weight. So like when you were at 16, um, what was going on then? What made you even want to start dieting when you were so young? Like, was anybody peer pressuring you to do that? Or was that just like, I'm just gonna do it?
Well, I had a lot of skinny friends, and I was always kind of the bigger friend. I was athletic, but of course, back then, you see all the models in it's not attainable. Now they tell you, but back when I was 16, that was what you wanted to look like, was what was in the magazines, what was the Kate Moss, which is, she doesn't eat, so
Right.
it was really unattainable, but I just wanted to be thin. So it was the pills in the back of the magazine. It was like they had like some kind of it wasn't phentermine, it was something like that. I took that. I've taken phentermine. I've taken anything. I've X-Lite. I mean, you name it, I've done it. Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, prepare the
Remember,
food they would.
what was it, like hydro cut or something like
Yeah,
that? Or
Hydrocut. Yep,
oh
done
my
that.
God. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you
actually
name it.
hurt some people's hearts, actually, like
Oh yeah,
legit, like
yeah. That I don't
craziness.
know who knows what I ingested in the back of that Rolling Stone magazine. God only knows. But I mean, it was just. And then just so yeah, I just wanted to be thin, like I would.
Right.
I just was always so self conscious about it. Being short too. That's the problem. Being 5 foot tall, and you just want to be like everybody else. And so I just
Hmm.
and I'm learning that it's not necessarily hereditary, but my mom was heavier, my sister was heavier, and then all those years it was more of the not vanity part of it, but you just want to be thin. And then when you get older, it's like I want to be healthy. So it was also a
Yes.
mindset change too. Of yes, I like the being thin. I like going to buy clothes now, but now it's more for health.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned too, just getting older and being part of this community for so long. And, being 10 years out post op, it's like, it's really is all about the health. Like it's not even about what I look like anymore. Like I even forget sometimes, and maybe you do too, of like what you look like. Like you just want to feel good. Like I want to wake up and have energy. I don't want to feel like I'm in that fog. Did you have a lot of brain fog? Because I know I did with like the sugars and everything that I was eating. Like I felt very tired and foggy every day.
Yeah, well, and I didn't have any energy. It was like you're saying, I had the brain fog. I had the just feeling like crap. Well, and if I'm honest right now, I've had a little bit of weight regain.
Okay.
And I started incorporating those foods that make me feel like crap, the breads and the pop chips or the popcorners, whatever the devil food is they have. Instead of eating a little bit, you can eat a lot more. And so
Yep.
I'm kind of learning. I was like, man, I'm starting to feel like crap again
Hmm.
by eating these foods. So I've really tried to, because when you first have weight loss surgery, you're not eating. So there's nothing that's making you feel bad or you're swollen or anything. And so I've really tried to start getting bread out again. I was like, man, bread just makes me feel like shit. It just does.
Dude, it
So
makes a
yeah,
lot of us feel like shit. It's so
yeah.
delicious, but
Oh
yeah,
my God, I
it makes
love it.
us
I'm
feel
like,
like shit.
why does it have to taste so good? I mean, there's nothing like hot bread. I mean, telling you, but I was like, man, I just can't feel like this anymore. So, and it just brings me back full circle back to your question. I just remember even though I felt like crap, I was like, I just want to eat. You get to the place where you just don't care anymore. I was like, I just don't care anymore. I'm going to
Yeah.
eat what I want. I don't care. Like, I don't care if I weigh 500 pounds. I don't give a crap. So,
Hmm.
and then, like I said, I got older and I was like, then you just start changing. You're like, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I don't want
Right.
to, there's got to be some kind of solution. And I had seen some people that were successful at weight loss surgery. I was like, this is it. I'm either going to start
Hmm.
I don't want diabetes. I don't want any of those diseases that come with this overweight. And so,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize how heavy I was until I got on the scale and I was like, oh my God, like, holy crap. So
What were you, if you don't mind me asking?
I was 212 pounds.
212
Yeah.
pounds
So
on a
I know,
5 foot frame. I want people to specify that. Like,
yes.
that's a big difference from being like 5'5" at 212, even like 5'8" at 212. That's very different on your body. But 5 foot even is small stature.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that because everybody's like, oh, I was like, yeah, but you remember I'm 5 foot tall at 212. Like my BMI was morbidly, I think that's what did it too. When I was like, man, I am morbidly obese. Like
Hmm.
morbidly, because when you think that, you think like half ton sisters or you think all those other
Yeah.
things, like 600-pound life. I'm like, but no, I'm morbidly obese. Like and it was just kind of eye opening too, especially like I said, on this 5 foot frame, everybody's like, oh, 220. But I know some people want to be at 200, but for me, that was way too much weight
Way too. Yeah.
on a 5 foot frame. So
Well, and I
yeah,
have a lot of family members that are around 5 foot, 5'2". So like that's a lot of my dad's families that way. But they were bigger. And
right.
so they kind of kept like the way that they would carry it, like you could just tell that they were tired all the time. They
Yeah.
were just like, I can't move, like they feel swollen. Now, when it came to where you were like, I'm gonna finally get a surgeon, what was there like a moment where you're like, that is it. I am done with this. I am getting a surgeon. I'm going to go look it up. Like, was there any of those moments for you?
Yes. After we come home from the restaurant that night, because like my body clock, I was staying up late, because I was heavy, and then going to bed late, and then sleeping in, which now I don't do. That was the one thing about surgery. Before, if I get to, I have so much more energy now. Like I don't need near as much sleep as I used to need. Like, man, I was like a 9 hour, 10 hour. Now I'm like 7 to 8, maybe sometimes 6. I'm like, man, I run, which is amazing to me, the energy that I have versus
Yeah.
before. But I just came home and started researching on my computer. My husband be in the bed, and I would just be like, man, so I would be Knoxville, Tennessee, looking stuff up, and same surgery center kept coming up. New Life Bariatric kept coming up, and I started looking at their stats and looking at, what his credentials were and all that. And that was really the only surgeon I went to. I didn't go to anybody else because he just was. Me, I liked it when I met him. When I went to, they answered me right when I emailed them. They answered me back when I set the appointment, and I love the staff. Still do. Same staff is still there. Still like Dr. Williams. So I felt like because it took away the scaredness of the surgery
Mm,
itself. When you think
that's
about your
fair.
stomach getting cut in a quarter, I don't care about your personality. I care about, are you skilled enough to do this?
Hmm.
So that was my thinking, and he had a lot of success in bariatric. So
Oh, I love that
yeah.
for you. Did your insurance, were they able to cover it, or did you have to pay out of pocket?
Um, I wish I had known when I went. My BMI was like 39.6. So I was
Okay.
point 0.4 away from getting insurance. So if I'd known that, I would have just eaten, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And so, and I don't know if I guess they can't tell you. I don't know. But anyway, um, they didn't approve me the first time. And
Okay.
so I went back again. They did, and I went to a sleep apnea test. The comorbidity, you have to have something plus a comorbid. They still didn't approve me. And I said, all right, I'm going to give it one more shot. And so I said, what are they missing? What is happening that they're not
Yeah.
approving me? Like, so I was kind of digging, and they said, well, you don't have doctor's notes. I'm like, oh my God. So, and my doctor was on board. And so I went for 3 months and was like, no, exercising it, nothing's working, blah. And she took detailed notes, and then they submit, and then I ate to oblivion, like, oh my God. Mel, I was like eating to on this frame. I was sick. Like I would went and ate Japanese right before and I mean I ate to like the whole Japanese, the entire thing. Like now it just makes me sick to think about, but I literally ate the entire portion of that Japanese food, and I was like, I hope that I just got to hold it in until I get there. I just have to hold it.
Right. Weigh
I just
me
have to weigh
immediately.
me immediately so I can go straight to the bathroom. Just weigh me right now. So anyway, they weighed me. I was way over, and like 3 days later, they called and said I was approved. So, but I had made my mind up. If I didn't get approved the third time, I was going to pay for it out of pocket. That's how
Yeah.
serious I was about it.
Well, and
So
I think we have to be that serious
yeah,
because insurance is fickle, right?
yes,
Like it took I had to do two approvals. I had to do two submissions, and it was fully there, and then like I still had to pay $500 out of pocket for the nutritionist. And then for the actual stay I had to do, because I stayed overnight. That was still a thing back then.
same.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's not like that anymore, where you're like basically you do it in the morning and you're done in the afternoon. Which I guess is fine. I've heard a lot from surgeons that it's okay. I've been reassured 1,000 times, but I still feel a little uncomfortable. And I think it's just because I have a lot of problems with healthcare with my family. So like I'm just like, no, I need to be monitored the whole time. I want 24 hours. But it does save you a lot of money to not. But that was the deal that I had to pay the 250 to be there. So I had to at least pay some out of pocket for myself. I'm happy that you did not. So
no,
that's amazing.
well, I'm sorry,
Oh
I
no,
did
you
have to
did.
pay out of pocket. Insurance covered most of it. I think it was $1,000. But I had the overnight stay too. But I remember them saying they were getting, it was like on the cut of them not having you stay overnight anymore.
Mhm.
So I don't know if like they changed it right after that, but I was kind of glad. I'm like, yeah, I was kind of glad I got to stay just so I felt better. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Your body just does a lot of things, and it once that you have to pee, right? Like
right.
that was like a big you have to pee before we leave, and so
Yeah.
like, but it's like hard to even take in fluids. So you're like, I don't know what to do
Yeah.
here.
Well, and I was like, please don't get sick. Like I was afraid I was going to get sick. And then I was just like,
Mm,
because I just remember thinking, well, this is it. They're cutting my stuff. It's like either it's going to work or not. It's like I can't get it back. So
right.
it was one of those like, okay, this now or never. I'm going for it. So, and I
Or-
just remember because anesthesia makes me a little sick. So I had the patch back there, but I was just like, oh, I don't feel good. My husband's like, please don't be sick. Don't be sick, because the stomach and of course you're trying to walk. And so, but yeah,
Yeah, he knows, right? Like
yeah,
he knows what's going on with you.
yeah.
My question to you is what, how did you choose the sleeve? Was that your doctor's decision or did you guys get to do that together?
Well, when I went in, which was all, he kind of asked me what I wanted, and I had researched. I guess he knows that when you come in, because he had even said that I just had my checkup, and he said, people research before they even come in. It's usually 6 months to a year they're researching and looking, and so I guess that's why he just says, what kind of surgery do you want? And I think I picked the sleeve because in my mindset I was like, if give me something, if you can, whatever, I'm gonna make it work. And
Yeah.
I just felt like the sleeve was less invasive. Now that I've done a little more research, I kind of, well, I shouldn't say that. Just it feels like the gastric bypass, you have a little bit less of regain. So that was
Well,
so
yeah. I
yeah,
I would say now that I'm the same boat as you.
yeah,
Now that I've watched surgeries on both sides, VSG and RNY, like I've been in the actual OR and I've seen it done. And so I'm like, what was I so scared of?
yeah,
Like they're only like 15-minute differences. It's not a huge deal, maybe 30 depending on your actual surgeon. But yeah, like they say that you get to your lowest, like you actually get low, and then you
right,
can build up. And I feel like for me, I still haven't hit what I considered my goal, even after 10 years. So
right.
I totally feel you on that one. So you think if you went back, you would have chosen bypass?
I think so. Like I had a
I
friend
think
of
so.
mine. She went to, she had the sleeve, and then I have not had any acid reflux. I've been very lucky, but she had it because I had a hernia. They did the hernia repair too. So,
Oh, good.
yeah. So I don't know. I say that, but I just because I did get to my goal weight, and the regain is like jacking up here with me a little bit. I told my doctor
Oh,
that this morning. We had a Zoom call, and I was like, man, that regain, it just kind of messes with you a little bit. So
it does. It
yeah,
does.
it really does.
We're gonna get there. We'll talk
Yeah,
about it because I've regained, you've regained. It's
yeah.
a it's a process, guys. And it's a whole thing. So before we get there, let's talk about that first year. How did you feel that first year? What kind of non-scale victories did you have? What was it like to be Josie that first year?
Oh my gosh, that honeymoon period is so awesome. Yeah, it really is. And I didn't know it until later on that that's your honeymoon period. And I was like, oh man, this is, you're barely eating and you have no hunger. I mean, it was just very weird going down the road, you're driving around because I sell real estate. So you're driving, and I'm like, I'm not even hungry. And that would be like where I would pick in the car and eat. I'm just like, I'm just not even hungry. Or like you would have a
Right.
bite of food and you're
Mhm.
just not hungry. I was like, oh, to go back to the non-hunger days. And um it was a weird because, I could lose it. I just never could maintain. And so I kept watching the scale go down, but in my mind it was going to go back up. You'd lose
Right.
that like 2 pounds, and 3. And I just kept waiting for it to go back up. So, but man, that first year, I hit my goal weight in about, I guess about 10 months, but
Damn.
I was a rule follower. Let me tell you, like
Yeah.
that book you get,
Mhm.
man, I was flipping, I was looking, I was like, no bread, no alcohol, no, I mean, nothing. I was very, very adamant about I was going to get to my goal weight. So then I had a colonoscopy and it shot right there, boy. I got to that goal weight real quick, real quick.
Ah! What
So
made you have a colonoscopy?
you're not there yet, my dear, but when you turn
Oh,
50, yeah, when you turn 50, you get a colonoscopy. That's the fun things
oh,
about
that's
getting
right.
older. Yeah. So,
Yes,
but it was
yes.
all good. But anyway, it's a fun day at home. Stay at home and
I'm
yeah.
be
So
near the toilet is what
be
I've been
near the
told. Is
because when it starts, that's not. But that's it. You're there, and so it's a fun day. Just have
it's a fun
water.
day. Well,
It's a fun day.
I'm glad that
Yeah.
it went okay. It sounds like
Yes.
nothing came back abnormal.
No. Another not one for 10 years. So yay.
Yay!
But yeah. Anyway, I hit my goal
Congratulations.
weight, and So it was that first year was, man, it was nice. Like I ain't even gonna lie, that was good times. And even the second year, I didn't have any gain. Because but I've slowly started introducing new food or more foods.
Okay.
And the portion sizes are getting bigger. Where used to, for instance, like the egg bites from Starbucks, you could eat one and be full. Now it takes two, so it's
Yes.
more food and it's more volume of food. I still try not to do fried foods or pasta, but the year 3 is you're you're not on the honeymoon anymore. So
No, honeymoon is gone.
it's yep.
And year 3 is exactly when it starts. Unfortunately. And guys, like I've talked to so many people. It's happened to myself. It happened to my old co-hosts. Year 3 is the time where you start questioning everything. You start introducing things back into your diet, things that you wish you never did. Like I wish I never introduced fucking my some ice cream and some bread. Those were the
Oh,
two.
s- chocolate and bread. Oh my god, I wish I just because I was not even eating chocolate. I wasn't eating no sugar. And man, when I started introducing freaking chocolate, and now I can tolerate it. Used to when you start introducing it, it's like, ooh, not right now. But then your body gets used to it, and so there's no more dumping syndrome. There's no more, and you can eat instead of eating 5 M&Ms, you can eat as many as you want and it not bother you, or until you get
Right.
full. And so, man, I just yeah, but it's not. And then I try to say, well, you can say what if, but that's really not sustainable. I don't think
No, I haven't
it's
heard one person that's been able to sustain our original diet.
right,
And that is normal because we're not supposed to sustain that original diet.
right.
We're supposed to evolve and grow as our stomachs do. And yes, they are growing a little bit at a time. Um, some people believe that it fully goes back to the big stomach. I haven't found a doctor that says that. They all do say that it does stretch a little bit because it's a muscle. It's supposed to. But I think it's us introducing the foods. And then now our brain wants that food because I've learned when I introduce something, now my brain wants to like think about it. Do
Yeah.
you have those kind of situations?
Yes, because used to, you could eat and then you just be full, but then now I eat, I'm like, oh, I want a sweet treat. Oh, now I want some chocolate. And so that's what and the late night snacking used to, I'd be fine, I'd be full and then just get, but it's introducing those little things that that put you at the weight, the late night snacking and the chocolate and all that stuff. So, and then year 3, year 1 and 2, I was like, yeah, I'll go to my doctor's appointment. Yeah, I'll do that one now. I was like, "Oh, I'm not getting on the scale." So it's those little things. I'm like, so I've really tried to start like getting back on the scale. And I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as what you think, even though my
Right.
jeans are tighter than Dick's hat band, like I can't breathe in my jeans. But I was like, I'm not going up a size. Damn, I'm not up a size. Like, so
Yeah.
it's that like getting back just, and I've learned this too, like, thin people are not thin because they eat chips all day and ice cream and all that. They're watching what they eat and they're going to the gym and they're still doing their habits. So I've tried to start just incorporating that back in my walks where it's like I said, we go back to that honeymoon where you just kind of the tool done the work for you. And now it's like, okay, whatever habits I've learned, I've got to start incorporating that back in
Hmm.
because now it's you eat what you want, do what you want. And so your body's you just got to do you have to do what you've learned to do instead of the
Oh,
fried
yeah.
foods and all that.
And
Yeah.
you're completely right. Like 100%. Like the people that are successful they're not eating the ice cream. They're not good eating chips at night. They're having that protein as the first thing that they do when they wake up, right?
Yep.
They're drinking their water when they first wake up. They're not going towards other things because they know that's not beneficial.
Right.
I have learned over the years we need to drink water right when you wake up. Let's not be doing coffee, tea, whatever. Just at least a cup of water. That's it.
Yep.
Like just start your day with a cup of water. And here's a few reasons, and I'm just going to get a little educational with you for a hot second is one, water, you need to replenish your body. So at nighttime, when the reason why you have to pee when you wake up is because you're pushing out all those toxins. So if you're on a really good digestive schedule, you should be peeing and pooping every morning. I just had the poop queen on as a special expert actually last month, and she was on the podcast in July because like pooping is a big part of your daily health, and it does affect your weight loss. If you're constipated, you're probably not losing weight, actually.
Right.
I've learned a lot. And so it's like, okay, get up, get that water in, and then whenever you feel like it's time for you to eat, make sure it's protein. And we don't care what that looks like. That could be a protein shake, protein smoothie, a profi. That could be an actually just eggs. You could just have avocado toast or something. You just have to have a very nutritious like opening to your day, because it really sets up your day. I've learned if you have sweet treats in the morning, and I'm talking about pancakes, waffles, Pop-Tarts, even a sugary drink. Now your body thinks that you should have that all day.
Yep.
So it's a mind game, and the people that are successful is because they're playing the game, like
Right.
with yourself. Like you're
Yeah.
not, and that's the deal. Like, don't compare yourself to others. That's a whole problem in itself, because we have to just be one on one. I call it 1v1. Like, that's it. We're only against ourselves. Let's do what we can. So you have regained, you
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
So how much have you regained?
I've gained, I was down to what? So I've gained about 10 to 15 pounds, which the doctor was like, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but to me, it's a lot. Again, on my frame, on what I was used to seeing, um, he wasn't worried about it, but to me, I'm like, this is getting ready to be a slippery slope. Like,
Right.
I can feel it, I know it, and I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right, you have to go to your doctor's appointment. So I was 4 months late on my doctor's appointment. I was like, and then I started weighing myself again. And like you said,
Okay.
I started drinking water in the mornings to help that. But I was like, man, here it comes. I know it's coming. And, you know, I speak at my support group. I've been in the magazine. I was like, it doesn't matter all of that if you're not paying attention at home, if you're not doing
Yeah.
what you're supposed to be doing. So I told my doctor, I was like, I'm the poster child. I'm supposed to be doing this. And so sometimes the mindset of, not that I failed, but I was like, okay, this is the time I've got to stop this. If I don't, I'm getting ready to go off the flipping rails here. So I'm just being honest. I haven't
Yeah,
really
I know.
shared a lot of that and being vulnerable, but I was like, man, it's this slippery slope of getting ready to go down and like you said, you start incorporating the fried foods, and then I want it. Not fried foods. I don't really, it's still, thank goodness they still bother me because I can't eat them, but it's the chocolate and stuff. And it's not, a handful. And Doctor, I think his name's Dr. Clapp. He talks about that. It's like,
Oh yeah.
he's actually pretty awesome. He's like, you go get a little bit, and then you go get a little bit more, and you go get a little bit more, and then next thing you know, you've eaten the bag. I'm like, oh, is he in here? Like, what? It's true.
Was
So,
he watching
watching
me?
what?
Where was he?
Yeah, Dr. Clapp. I
Yeah.
don't like this. So, but yeah.
Well, and he's right. He's
Yeah.
100% right. And then I do want to tell you, that's the 10 to 15 is super normal. They say like a lot of us get down to the lowest we can get, and then we do pump up about 10
Yeah.
to 15 pounds. And that's just because your body's trying to figure out where it wants to be and where it wants to lie for now on.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that you noticed it and you're like, this is a slippery slope for me.
Yeah.
Because I sat at that. So the lowest I got was 179, which I'm proud to say today I'm 175. So I finally have broken
Yeah.
my lowest.
Woo!
But it's been a journey, guys. So, but I literally pumped up that to 192, and then I sat at 192 for 3+ years. So
Wow.
you can just do your little boop, and then you just stay.
Yeah.
It can happen. But I also was doing things to make sure I wouldn't gain, right? Like I started standing at my desk for 8 hours a day. I made sure I was still parking in the very back of the parking lots and walking my ass up there. Like I would still do anything I could to get those extra steps, that extra protein, that extra water. So I was able to maintain for such a long time. I regained a total of 50. So that one was hard to swallow. Because that's almost half of what I lost. So it was a big deal.
Right.
But it took a while for me to notice. Now I'm looking back at old photos and I'm like, oh my God, Melanie, that was like very obvious that like you weren't hiding nothing. Like, I don't know why you thought you were.
Yeah.
But you were.
Where were my friends? Like, Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing is our friends don't want to tell us.
Oh,
Like,
no. Mm-mm.
they don't want to offend us. So like I mean, because my co-host didn't say shit,
Yeah.
like, and we're in it together during that time frame. So it's like, I was
You
the
could
one
have
that would
told
tell.
me.
Could
Yeah.
have told me. You could have
Yeah.
helped me.
Yeah.
And that's the deal, guys. As friends, we are allowed to have those conversations. I think those conversations are very, very important.
Yes.
But I wanted to talk to you about your regain. I think that you're doing the right thing. It sounds like you were missing appointments, so now you're getting back to appointments. And it sounds like you stopped weighing yourself. When do you think you stopped weighing yourself?
Because I think in your you know you're putting that weight on, but I just didn't want to face it. I was like, oh, I mean, I could tell because my jeans were getting a little tighter, the dresses were getting a little tighter. I was like, oh, and I could tell like my behind. I was like, oh, I know it's good, and I thought I'm not getting on that scale because then I would just get pissed off. I was like, oh, I'm not getting it because then it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Like when you're losing and you're in a honeymoon, it's like, oh, I'm at one whatever, and so you're happy. But when you start putting that weight, you don't want to get back on that scale because then
Right.
you set the tone and then it just is you just get for me, I'll speak for myself. I would just get mad and it's kind of like F it, I don't care anymore. And I kind of got
Mhm.
that mind. I was like, I'm gonna eat what and that was what I was gonna say too. I think because I was restricted and then I just was like, it's a free for all now. I'm just gonna eat whatever I want because at the second year, you can kind of eat what and not gain any, so
Yeah.
you can kind of start incorporate and then you're not gaining, but boy, it shows up. Here it comes on the third year, you start showing up. So it was one of those where I've just incorporated and now I'm just going to go back. I caught it. I feel like anyway, I'm trying. So
You
I'm not saying I
will.
don't
You
have slip
will.
ups. I had bread the other day and I'm like, ugh, now I feel like crap. So
Well,
yeah,
it does.
that's it.
How fast does bread affect you? I don't think
Pretty,
people realize.
No, it's pretty quick. Like we went to a restaurant and I was like, he got bread and it's like the best bread. It's this place called Connor's. It's really good. And I'm like, I'm gonna have a pay. And the minute I had it, I'm like, oh, now I don't want the protein. So it's like, you eat the bread first and then you don't want your salmon or you don't whatever you get, and then you're hungry in 30 minutes. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I knew better. But it just hurts my tummy. It just does. And it's same
Yeah.
thing with rice. I mean, and pasta too. But pasta doesn't really bother me. Like I'll do spaghetti squash or, I do cauliflower crust pizza and stuff. So, but man, bread, I
Yes.
don't know, just a weakness, I guess. That and caramel M&Ms are bad
Those are
news,
your
man.
those are your trigger foods, huh?
Yeah. Well, I tell Kent to hide them. I'm like, get those out of here. Oh my God. No more no more M&Ms. No more.
No
So
more.
yeah, no more.
Get
Yeah.
that out of
Mm-mm.
there.
Yeah.
Well, I talk about that a lot on the podcast of like, hey, let's just not bring it inside the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Same.
that will literally change a lot of our lives if we just don't see it on a regular basis.
Right.
Because when you don't see it, you don't think about it, right? So
Right.
the whole thing.
Well, and
Um,
like you said, when you start incorporating it, then you think about the foods. Like, that first year you're like, oh, I haven't had it, so it doesn't matter. But then you
right.
taste it again and then you start thinking about it. So I thought
Mhm.
that was a really good point is when you start bringing foods back in, it's like your brain knows, like I didn't miss lattes, Starbucks, and then a year and a half out, I got one. And now it's like, oh, I want one every day because I had that taste of that latte. So
Isn't that
yeah.
wild how our
Yeah.
brains work?
Yeah. I thought
That
that
is
was a good point.
crazy.
Yeah. Because if I'd
Yeah.
never had that first year, I didn't care about bread. I mean, I was not eating because I was so strict. But now that you have it, I keep talking about bread, but there's other things too, like pop, the slider foods. I didn't care about those until you have one. It's like, oh man, I would love to have cinnamon crunch popcorners. So, yeah.
So we can both agree, like, just don't bring it in if it's
Yeah.
gonna cause you to like think about it all the time.
Yes.
And really for me, it's just trigger foods. Like bring in whatever else. Like even like, well, I always say I had like 1,000 people that live with me, but for a long time I've had several different types of people that live with me, and that was the deal. I just had to tell them like, don't put it in eye shot. I don't want to see it. Like it needs to be in your rooms. It needs to be somewhere else. Because like if my brain knows there's a cookie somewhere in this household, I will
Yeah.
think about it all day until I go
Yeah.
get that damn cookie.
Oh, yeah. Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so good too. And, if it's like a really good cookie that I'm like, oh man, and you just start salivating. You're like, I want that. And
Mhm.
nothing's going to do until you have it. And so you're right. If it's not in the house, then I don't think about it. And working from home is hard too because it's there and it's in the pantry. It's like, I'll walk over there and get it. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
easy access. Like,
Easy
I think
access.
that was so hard for a lot of us that didn't work from home and how we're forced to during COVID.
Right.
And then now we're just looking at our fridges and pantries all day long. Where we're like, oh shit, it's
Yeah.
talking to me. I want to
Yeah.
have some like now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and the nutritionist asked me, is it emotional eating or is it out of boredom? I was like, I think it's all the above. It's, you're
Yeah.
grazing, the bite lick taste, which is what the support group says, which is true. I'll have a bite here, a taste here. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I've never heard of it that way. What do you call
Yeah.
it?
Bite lick taste. That'll get you in trouble.
The bite lick
Bite,
taste.
taste. Yeah, taste. Like it's, oh, I'll have a taste of that. Oh, I have a bite of that. Oh, I have a, you know, so yeah.
Oh, that does make sense. And then we
Yeah.
just start really eating all of it again.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So I wanted to talk to you about support. So you did tell me in the beginning that you told your husband like get on board or don't. So like,
yeah.
how did he get on board right away? What was he like?
Yes, he did. Once I went to the doctor and told him kind of, and I brought home some stuff that they'd given me, and it was pretty quick. Like once I got approved, it was July 5th, and I was like, oh, is this some kind of joke? Because we celebrate July 4th at the lake, and we have a tiny house out at the lake. It's nothing fancy, but so everybody's out there, and I'm like, is this some kind of sick joke? You're putting me on a liquid diet. I'm having to not eat anything. But anyway, yes, he was on board, but I made the conscious decision not to tell anyone because I had made my
Okay.
mind up and I knew how I was before I knew about surgery. I knew not that I was judging, but I was like I told you, I was never having that. I'm not doing that
Mm-hmm.
until I educated myself on what the surgery can do for you and how it can help you and how it's as safe as gallbladder surgery. And people don't think twice about going to have gallbladder surgery. And it's just
They
as
don't.
safe. It literally is. I don't know what it is about weight loss surgery that everybody is so scared of. I don't know if it's you change your whole eating habits. Like I've tried to think about that. Like what is the whole scary part of having weight loss surgery? Is it because you're so used to one way of living with your partner? Like if you're a foodie or if you go out to eat a lot and then you're afraid you're never going to do that again. Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
living proof you can go right back to eating out and doing all that. Now it was an adjustment that first year and I did have that, not regret, but I remember thinking, oh my God, I've turned our world upside down,
Yeah,
of,
like a little bit of buyer's remorse.
yes. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what I said. I remember laying in the bed going, oh my God, what have I done? But then
Mm-hmm.
you get over that. And then like I said, my life is not I just told my husband, I was like, this is just going to be for a little while. But I told two of my closest friends that were non-judgmental, very supportive. So I told them to, and my husband, and that's the only people that knew. Nobody else knew. For
Wow.
the first 2 years, I didn't say a word to anyone. Now people were asking me, and I would
Right.
say, well, I'm on a low fat, high protein diet, which was all true, and I was drinking water.
Right?
It was
Yeah.
all true. I was just I think they knew something. Either they thought I was on the GLP or they knew something. But I just was not ready to tell. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad. I was just like, man, I didn't want to lie, but I just was not ready for anybody to know. I didn't want anybody else's influence or opinions or anything. I wanted to do it on my own and have a clear headspace of what I knew to be true from my doctor, from what I had researched, and I didn't want all this of you could do it on your own. Like I had told someone, and she won't. The girl that does my hair, she's like, "Well, maybe you need to try Optavia." And I was like, "No, no, I don't want any more diets." Like I'd made my mind up. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. And you've done enough. I think that's
yes,
what people forget. Like when we get to
yeah.
this point, it's not because this is the first route where we took,
Oh, please,
right?
yeah,
Like if this was the first route, that would be a different story. But we have tried so many different ways of losing weight. And we're
yes,
realizing even now in this history in 2025, but we figured it out like a couple of years ago that like obesity really is a disease. And
yes,
we need to treat it as such and stop giving people this whole like, well, you just don't have enough willpower or you just didn't eat the right diet. And it's like, no, you get to a point where your body's actually not going to help. It doesn't help itself. It's not going
right,
to lose the weight. It's not going to do the things that it should do. It's already has like problems now. Now it might not be like I didn't have diabetes or high blood pressure or whatever. And so that's why I, got denied the first time was
Yeah.
because it's like, well,
Same.
nothing's really wrong with you.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, there could be, like, here's the history that I'm going to be walking into. Like, I have diabetes in my
Mhm.
life. I have people in my life that have heart disease and have died from heart attacks and cancer. So it's like, let's not get her to that point. It's too late. She's already over 300 pounds. Like, we need
Yeah.
to do something. So I hate it when I hear people say, like, well, just train us. Well, don't you think we already tried a bunch of
Like,
things?
come on.
Like,
I literally have tried it all. And I
yeah.
love that you said that because I have that same family history. And that's why I wasn't approved the first time because I was a healthy fat. It's like, I was like, you see
Mhm.
that I'm fat. Like, and that's what, look, you don't need to, I know it, like I could look in
Mhm.
the mirror and see. I was like, I don't need, I know, but if I thought it would work, I've either already tried it or done that. And when
Yep.
I researched and I saw, I don't know if you've heard of the set point theory. I'm sure you have. Dr. Williams had it on his website, and it made so much sense. It was like when you get to a certain point of being overweight, and I had the same family history, like cancer, breast cancer, diabetes, all of it runs in my family. My brother died of a heart
Yeah.
attack when he was 26. So I
Oh,
wasn't there,
shit.
but I was like, I could get there, and
Yeah.
a lot of my brother wasn't overweight, but my sister was. So, and my mom, so I had all that. But the set point theory says your body's only going to go to when it gets to a certain weight, it goes into starvation mode. So it's going to put it back on until you
Mhm.
reset it. And it was like one of those click moments. I'm like, that's why I can only get to like 150. And to me, 150 is still big for me. Let me reiterate that. It may not be for but for me, 150 is still overweight. According to my
Right.
BMI, according to my clothes, and according to my breathing, I'm still fat. Okay. Well, I'm still overweight. Let me say that. But that set point theory was kind of the clicker. I'm like, man, it makes sense of why the
Right.
losing, gaining until you reset that and get your body to where it's okay at 110 or wherever you want to be. I just feel like you're just going to lose weight and gain weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
are.
And
So,
you just, it's just our bodies are just so
yeah,
fascinating and so different that's like, we can't hate on anybody for wanting to try different things
right.
and for taking this step that we
Yeah,
took, because we need to reset. Like, we were in, like, literally going down like the wrong,
yeah,
trail for us. Like, it could have been very scary. I know for myself, I'm thinking like, shit, if I didn't get surgery, where would I be right now? Would I be
God,
400 pounds? This podcast wouldn't have happened. I would have never met you. Like,
right.
I wouldn't have met thousands of people that I've met and helped. It's like, this is crazy to think about. Like, sometimes you just have to take yourself, and take care of you. I mean,
And
that's
put
the deal.
yourself first. That was the whole thing.
Hmm.
You're so used to taking care of everybody, and then you don't feel good about yourself, so you kind of put yourself on the back burner. And I was like, I'm going to start putting myself first.
Yeah.
I just am. I'm going to put myself first. So, yeah.
And when did so you said it was at year 2 that you started telling people you had surgery? Is that
Mm,
what happened? Like,
Well,
was something happen for you to tell everybody?
the girl that I had originally met that had the surgery that kind of got me thinking about it, she was like, I just look at it, if I help one person, it's worth it to tell it. And I think if I'm honest, some of the judgment, I was like, I just didn't want anybody else's judgment or eyes
Yeah.
well, she can't do it on her own. And so I still had that in my own head too. So I had to work on that. But I thought, if I can help one person and they already, when you start posting pictures of a significant waste, they know something.
Yeah.
And so, and I've also learned, I thought you said something important too, is that because you probably get private messages, I get private messages of people wanting to ask me about weight loss surgery. And I've learned they have to do it when they're ready. And instead of me
Yes.
pushing, because at first I was oh, you need to do this, but then I've noticed some they get scared, and so I've decided to wait. I get that, or I'm gonna try one more thing, and I was like, okay, so you just have to meet people where they are, and I've just learned that I can only tell my story and hope it helps, and know that get the support that you need, but you can't make anybody do it. Nobody could have made me do it, and I knew people that
Mhm.
had lap band and weight loss, and I ain't doing that. I'm doing it on my own. You know.
Well, and we're kind of similar where I thought too that it was only meant for bigger people. I didn't think that I was in that
Yeah.
bucket of people that needed it.
Yeah.
I was like, no, no, that's for if I
The
was
600-pound
400.
life.
Yeah, like I told myself I would have to be a certain weight to
Yeah.
even do it and not realize that like actually one there's like 50% of America can do the
Right.
surgery and can actually like you meet all the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
And two, that's a bunch of crap. Like I don't have to be
Yeah.
a certain weight. I need to just be like hit the BMIs and do the
Yeah.
things to get the actual intervention to be
Well, and the
started. So
willpower, I think that, everybody's like, oh, I was like, man, my job is successful. My personal life is good. Like I had succeeded at everything but the weight. And it was one of those things I'm like, well, if I just need to try harder, I just need to do and because, if you try harder at your job, you'll be sick. If you do, and it was that, man, I just got to have more willpower. Why do I not have enough willpower to get this weight off? Like I could do it for a
right.
little while. I could orange theory myself to death, or starve myself or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, it would get 20 pounds. And then the minute I smelled chocolate, here it come back on. So it was like it was also that mindset of, man, I just cannot get my weight under control. I just can, and it was that realization of I gotta have some help. I cannot
Yeah.
do it. I can't willpower myself to lose this weight anymore. So, and it's a tool to help you. It's nothing to feel ashamed of or embarrassed. And I had to get over that too of, I should be able to do this. I can do everything else. I should be able to do this. Why? I'm a pretty strong, independent woman. Why can't I do this on my own? And it was that, man, I failed at this over and it's not that way at all. It's just, man, some people just need a tool to help them to lose the
Yeah.
weight. So,
100%. Just like
yeah.
how people need to be able to get their gallbladders out and they need to get their pancreas out and
Yeah.
have to deal with all sorts of things. It's just a medical thing that, they weren't aware of. I
Right.
mean, it's still new the fact that they listen to women when we talk at a doctor's appointment. Like some people
Yes.
still don't get listened to. Some people I still get I did change doctors, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But my primary care was more like the whole, well, eat less, move more. Oh, you came in for a headache. You know what? You should lose 20 pounds. Oh, you came in because your shoulder hurts and it's been hurting for over a month.
Yeah.
You should probably lose 20 pounds.
Yeah.
It's
Drink
like,
more water.
yeah, drink more water. It's like get more sleep. And it's like, you're not wrong on some of these things, but like my headache is not because I'm 20 pounds overweight. My shoulder that's hurting because I actually like got injured while I was like working out has nothing to do with me losing 20 pounds. I need to figure out, is there a ligament tear here? Like, did I do something to it? Like why are we saying, well, we'll wait until you lose 20 pounds to look? Like that's fucking wild.
Right.
So
if you were rowing, I have that too. I think it come from Orange Theory. It's so funny. We're so much alike because I'm like, yeah, I sometimes get a headache, but of course I'm like blaming mine on age or like I was rowing at Orange Theory and I think it just jacked my back up and they've done all kinds of, and it's there. They say it's inflammation. I'm like, okay, it still hurts though. Like every now and again it hurts. Still hurts. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll randomly get this sharp pain and I was like, huh. Wonder what that's about.
Well, then you do the history of, I'm like, oh my God, what is it? Which one am I getting? Because your brother, sister, whatever, your family history. I'm like, oh, which is it? What's my roll of the dice here? So I try not to get in my head, but I'm like, oh, so.
Well, you never know. That's the thing with our health that like, it could be fine one minute and the next day it could be completely thrashed, and we hear it. It's rare for that to happen, obviously, but all of us are like, what happens if we're that one?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I remember getting surgery thinking, what happens if I don't lose weight? Like, did you have that?
Yeah. Oh,
too?
yeah. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's not going to work on me. It's just, I'm going to have a 10% stomach and it's just, this ain't going to work. So like I said, it was just the scale going down I'm like, oh, it's going down. I'm shocked that it didn't move. It just kept going down. So it actually works. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and I love that for you. And it sounds like everybody's been that finally knows all the things are very supportive for you.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
what was and I think I may have messed it up in the beginning. What was your first community event?
For like weight loss, the surgery. Okay. Well, I speak at my support group. So
you do.
That was awesome. The support group in Knoxville. So that was kind of my first outing where it was, and I was like, if I'm going to, because they asked me to speak about my weight loss because I had been going a couple times and I thought, okay, if I'm going to come out of the weight loss closet, which the support group person hates when I say that, but I love it. I'm coming out of the support.
I kind of love it.
I was like, I'm coming out of the weight loss closet. So I knew if I'd said something about it on social media, then I would have to. So that was my first event. And then they did like
Yeah.
a magazine. So I think that's part of my trouble with the weight regain because I was featured in a like magazines and I'm like, oh man, I'm like the poster child here. Like I'm on the internet, I'm on their site, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gaining it. So yeah. You're not immune to it. Like I was thought, oh, I'll get this
Mm-mm.
tool, I'll be immune, and you're not. You're just not.
You're not.
So you have to have the good habits. So
So do you still do that that meeting every month?
yes, yeah, I'll go. We have 2 meetings a month. They do a Zoom. I don't do the Zoom, but yeah, I'll go to the in-person meetings just to because you get people there that are the pre-ops. There's some post-ops there, but there's pre-ops there, so I try to talk to them, and of course, they see me now,
Yeah.
and when they see the before photo, they're like, ugh, because they just see you now, and so I was like, yeah, I was 102 pounds overweight, and so they're like, they don't even look like you, so
I
yeah,
get that a lot too. Like,
yeah,
I actually got it from my mom because my brother likes to play like a slideshow during holidays, and it's just like old photos and whatnots. And there was a photo of me, and she's like, "That can't be you.
yeah,
Is that you?" And she wouldn't stop. Where it was like starting to get frustrating. So I was like, "Mom, yeah, you had a big daughter. Like,
yeah,
let's just
yeah.
can we just move on from this,
Yeah.
please?"
I was
Like,
biggin. That's what I say. I was like, "Man, I was a biggin." What can I say? Like, just big.
yes,
So, yeah. No, I've been
yeah.
trying to, like, do, photos from where, I was at previously, like, at Disney. We did, I was like, "Oh, I wanna take a picture about it so I can see the before and after."
Oh
I was like,
yeah.
"Good Lord." Like, I would tell Ken, I was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" He's like, "I didn't see it." I was like, "I don't believe that for a second. I know you did. You just do not." You know?
Well, and some of them that are close to us, like they don't see it for a while. Like they
Yeah.
just don't. Like I know my ex-husband, like that was the thing, like it was a turn on the fact of
Yeah.
like one, he liked me when I was big. Like he met
Yeah.
me as a big girl. So it was like I was 200 plus. I was probably like right around 200, 205 when I met my husband at the time. And so like that was the deal is that like he didn't see me get to 3. Like
Yeah.
but he also was gaining too. So that's also a sign is like when the couple is both getting big, they
Mhm.
always say like, "Oh, that means they're happy and they're just in love." That's what I heard all the time. And so, but I'm like, but how does one go from like getting big together to not being big together anymore?
Right.
Because like that one's super hard because what happens if one does and the other one doesn't, like myself, where I was like, I'm over this, I'm tired of being big, I want the
Yeah.
surgery. He was very supportive of the surgery. The surgery is not why we're divorced. The surgery is because like we're divorced because he's an addict, and that's,
Yeah.
he hid it for a long time, and
Mhm.
I was a naive because I was like, this man likes me, he's in love with me, even with me being the big Mel. So
Yeah.
like I ignored a lot of red flags, which I think a lot of us do.
Oh, yeah.
When we're bigger, we just went like the first person that kind of like loves on
Mhm.
us, we're like, oh, they must be the one. Like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no other people ever.
Yeah.
So,
Show us any attention at all. It's like, "Oh, yeah. I have an
mhm,
ex-husband too. I get that." Same
yeah.
thing. So, like to be big, I was like, "I don't know why." You're like, "Oh, really?" But yeah. So,
No, there's men out
yeah.
there that thoroughly
They love
love it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to know a little bit more. So tell me what is a day in the life of Josie now? Like
Oh,
what's new? What have
yeah.
you done differently?
I will say I have much more confidence now. And I know like when you're an extrovert and you love talking to people, sometimes people don't understand that you're very self-conscious when you're bigger
Mhm.
too. Like I look back at photos and I notice I'm standing behind. Like I'm smiling, but I'm like, "Oh, I got to stand a certain you better have that
Yeah.
like and I want to see it before you post it. I want to see what
Oh,
it
you're
and
one of those.
yeah, well, not
Okay.
now, but back then, I
Yeah.
was like, like, the net. So now I have more fun. I'm like, oh, sure, I'll have a. So it's, yeah, that's the one thing is the self confidence is, and I like to shop now, which I really didn't before. So, clothes fit better and look better, and of course, I had
Okay.
all black on all the time. I mean, literally,
Right.
my closet was straight black all and so now I've started doing color but a day in the life of me, like I said, used to, I would sleep in all the time, like love to sleep, but now I'm up. Usually 7. I really want to be a 6 a.m. girl, which is just shocking to even say that I would get up at 6 a.m. I'm like, that's like, because I've saw some of the TikToks of like 5 a.m. club. I was like, I don't know, like 7 is pushing it. So I don't know. We'll see about the 6 a.m. So
I'm
get
with
up at,
you on this
yeah.
one. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I'm gonna try the 7 a.m.'s good if I can push it back to, especially now we're entering into this seasonal depression. So I'm really trying to work on um staying, being more disciplined and trying to enjoy the daylight and try not to get into that, like just the wellness part of it. I've been doing that,
Mhm.
like total squirrel, but like, man, I've started
Yeah, you're
doing the
good.
reset Sundays of taking care of myself and pampering myself and
Oh,
all that stuff.
good.
So it seems to help a little bit. So I've been doing
Yeah.
that.
What does that
But
look like
oh, the
on
pampering part?
Sunday?
I love I
Hmm.
call it Sunday reset. So, and I try to prep my foods a little bit too, or like go to the grocery store and get that. But it's like the all shower we do, like where you wash your hair and you do like the
Oh,
scrub your
yes.
face and you shave and you do like it takes like you're out of breath by the time you get done, and then I'll do like a mask on my face and like put socks and a mask on my feet just and oil on my body, just like the all over
Yeah.
thing, just the pampering part. So you don't have to pay for a spa. You can just spa at home. So that's normally,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've been doing that just to feel better as the winter, which I hate winter. I'm a summer gal, so set in. So that was my
I
yesterday, but
know.
yeah. So I got up today and, um, 7. Then I try to have my water, which we talked about. Like I'll try to do that first instead of drinking coffee. Like open the door and I try to get at least 10 minutes of sunlight or some kind of light in instead of before I pick up my phone, before I get on my computer, any of it. And then I'll have water before I have coffee. And I usually just have black coffee with maybe a little bit of creamer. Like I'll measure it. I still measure.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah. So, and well, like today, I had 2 Zoom calls. One was a coaching call, and then another was a client. And then when we finish up here, I've got a listing appointment, which is my literal next door neighbor. So,
Ah,
yeah. And so
that's
I'll answer
wild.
phone calls and emails, and I'll do some follow ups and check on my database and stuff like that for real estate. So, yeah.
So what does the food and that look like throughout the
Oh,
day?
breakfast. Like I said, I'll do. I know coffee isn't great the first thing, but man, the coffee is worth waking up for. It just is. Like that is I was never a coffee girl, but man, a good cup of coffee, especially now, is so, so good. So I have that. And then I'll either have like my 2 egg bites, which are awesome. They're super easy. I just put them in the air fryer. You can
Okay.
get them from Costco, the egg bites, the egg whites.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy. I put them 9 minutes at 400 degrees. It's perfect. They're perfect. So I do that. And then I'll fix my water. So I have that. And then, or I'll have a yogurt bowl, which is the yogurt and blueberries with granola, which the dietitian today said, no, granola, like try to back off on that a little bit. I was like, oh man, I like
Oh,
granola. I know.
how
She said
come? Did
fruit's
they
good.
just say?
I think it's because like it's got a little bit more calories and sugar in
It
it.
does.
So yeah.
It does.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
especially if you're trying to watch and she's like, you need to incorporate more fiber. And so, and then for lunch, I made some tuna. So, like tuna fish. And I was eating it with crackers, but I've really tried to, like I said, watch the breads and stuff. So no crackers. And then dinner tonight will be salmon, but I did eat those stupid devil pop chips. Like, I don't know why I buy those damn things, man.
Gotta
Like,
stop.
yeah,
You're
they're not,
calling them the
because I was like,
devil.
well, I lie to myself and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be able to manage those." Mm-mm. Nope, no,
Yeah.
I cannot. So the
No.
dietitian did say you could take some out and put them in baggies, like do the
Yes.
serving size and put it like immediately if you buy them, just take them out and measure them out already. I was like, oh, I kind of like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
or not buy them. That's probably the
Well,
best.
I've heard people do the other one though, like literally when they get home from the store, take out their baggies and just stuff them, and that way that way when they go grab, they also feel like they're satisfied because they finished the baggie.
Yes.
And I think that's a part of our brain that people don't really talk about is like finishing something is a big deal, whether that's food related or not. But I
Yeah.
feel like for us foodies slash, overweight people, like it's because we want to know that we completed it. Like we're like, oh, it's done.
Well, and I think it
And
goes back when I grew up poor, and so we had to finish our plate. There was
mhm,
not a lot. There was
yep,
so when we sit down, you finish what was on your plate. and we didn't go out to eat a lot,
Exactly.
but that was butter and lard and package, you better eat it, because that was what you had. So I think that what you said, like you cleaned the plate, and now I had to reset my brain to think I don't have to. I've already bought it. I've already bought the food, so it doesn't matter if you finish it or not. Nobody's starving anywhere in the world because you're not finishing your food. You know,
Right. I
so
will, because we
that
were told that a
yes,
lot. Like,
kids in Ethiopia are starving because you're not finishing your food, and so you have to
mm-hmm.
rewire your brain. It's like I read that somewhere. It was like you've already bought the food, you've already paid for it. Nobody's starving. You don't have to finish this and make yourself sick. So I've learned that too, and I've done a lot of which has helped me is I'll order off the kids menu, and that keeps me from eating. And I've never had anybody say anything like, "No, you can't order that." So
That's good. That's
yeah,
a good trick
yeah,
that we haven't really talked about much lately.
yeah,
And that is a really good one, is ordering off the kids menu. Because some places have a really good kids menu and you're like, oh, I could just have meatballs. Like that's what
yeah,
I was going to say when you were talking about spaghetti squash was like, for me, it's like, I just have the meat now. So I'm like, okay, just fucking cook my meatball with all the stuff
yeah.
that you normally would. And then I'll just eat the meatballs out of it. It drove my Aunt Nene nuts at first because she didn't really get, like, she's like, why are you not taking noodles? And I was like,
Right,
I can take them, but I'm not going to eat them. Like,
right.
me taking the noodles is only making you feel better. It's not making me feel any better. It's
Yeah.
like I can't even get it down if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and I've
it's
learned
just,
that
I'm
too,
full.
is to put myself first,
Yeah.
instead of just being polite, be like, no, thank you. I already have something. No, I don't want that. No, thank you. Instead of just waste, it's going to go to waste. And so being Southern, being polite, I've kind of started setting boundaries now. I'm like, no, I don't want that. No, I'm not going to have that. I've got to put myself
Yeah.
first. So yeah,
100%.
I think that's very important.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to put ourselves first and say no.
Yes.
And I like the fact that you're saying no, thank you.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people in my family that like they just want me to try shit.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I look at them and they know, and I'm like, I go, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
This is one that Mel's not gonna try.
Yeah.
It's just not, because it's always some sort of weird drink. And I'm like, I
Yes.
don't need to drink anything. Like, that's not gonna help me by any
Yeah.
means. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, like the alcohol part, like I didn't drink for a long time, and then my problem is when I go out with a bunch of friends, everybody's drinking and they expect me to, and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm the fun police if I'm not having a drink." So I've tried to like
Right.
be non-alcoholic, like I'll have a ginger beer or something, just in a glass. I'm like, put a ginger beer and pomegranate or something in a glass, in a martini glass, so it looks like
Yep.
I'm drinking, and like, or I'll have my Stanley. I'm like, no, I'm good, and no, really, I'm good. Like at the lake. If everybody's, I'm like, no, I've got something, I'm good. Which I do have something. It's water, but I
Yeah.
try to, or I'll put it in like a cup that looks like it's a cocktail. And so I've tried to learn ways around. I've tried to say I'm getting better, but still sometimes I'm a people pleaser, and I'll be like, yeah, but yeah, I'm getting
Well,
better
that's
at
who
saying
we
no.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are born
as
people
women,
pleasers. Yeah,
yes,
like we're so used to it, and it's like okay, how do we turn that backwards?
yeah,
Like, how do we fix this? Because
yeah,
and it feels so weird to say no.
yeah. It
Like it
does. It
felt
feels like you're hurting somebody's feelings.
yeah, because I'm
Yes,
like,
yes,
don't be mad at me because I said no, and most of the time they're like, I don't care.
yeah.
Actually,
And
I
most
just
people,
wanted to
yeah,
check.
yeah, they're not thinking about it as much as you think they are. I
Hmm.
thought that too, but I was like, they really don't care. Like if you say
No.
no, as long as you're no, thank you.
No,
So
thank you.
yeah,
And it's not
yeah,
like we're being rude about it. It'd be
yeah.
a thing where it's like, why would you ask me that? And like go crazy
I
about it.
can't
And
have
be
had
all,
weight loss surgery. Leave me the heck alone. No.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you did bring up alcohol, and I forgot to even talk about this. So, when did you introduce alcohol, or have you not had any alcohol?
No, I've had it. I was probably about 2.5 years out, and
Nice. I like to hear that.
um, yeah, I just didn't want it, and then I was really concerned about how it was going to affect me, and it does. It depends on how the drink's made. So normally, like if I go out with friends, I'm very careful because I have to drive, and so like a martini can affect me different than some kind of other drink, and the sugar. Then if you have a drink. I'm pretty adamant about waiting my 30 minutes. That's the one rule I do stick to is I'm very adamant if I'm eating, I'm waiting that 30 minutes. So if they bring your food quick and then you've just, so
It
you
sucks.
better,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've wasted $15, whatever the flipping drink cost. And so, um, And then the last time I drank, I just don't feel good the next day. Of course, like I said, I'm
Mm-mm.
older. I don't want to bring up age, but so when you turn 50 and you drink, it's like the freaking hangover will last 3 days versus a
Yes.
day. And so I've just gotten to where I just don't really want to drink anymore, honestly. Like I might have one in a blue moon now, but really I don't want to anymore. So
And I
yeah,
like the fact that you're being honest about it and you
yeah,
waited 2.5 years. So,
yeah.
because alcohol is a big deal in this community.
Yes.
And
I saw that.
yeah, yep.
Yep.
We were both at her. We loved it. We
Uh,
both went to retreat.
Yes.
We had a great old time,
Yes.
but we're in New Orleans, and so
Yes.
it's heavy drinking. It's
Yes.
people wanting you to drink wherever you go. What can I get you?
Yep.
And it's like, oh shit! Like one,
Yes.
we process way faster.
Yes.
So if whoever is listening, if you've reached us at the hour and 8 minute mark, I love you. Thank you for listening. And I hope you get
Yes.
this part out of it of, okay, guys, like you should wait as long as you can to drink.
Yep.
The hangovers suck. They are way different than when we were like non-surgical situations. Some
Yes.
people don't have hangovers, but I feel like mine now last for 2 days.
Oh,
Like it is
100%. Mhm.
it
Oh,
is not
it's
worth it.
yeah, like I drank on a
Mm-mm.
Sunday. It was maybe Tuesday to Wednesday. I was like, "Oh my God, never again." And like a martini will affect you different than a different kind of drink. Like a martini, I'm like, "Oh my God." Like I can tell it in 3 sips. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that drink is like super strong." So again, it depends on where I am, who's making the drink. And normally I'll be like with either someone that's driving or something like that. But like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
to me, it goes back the whole the bread thing too. It's just like to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth the way I feel. And you turn certain age and you got other stuff to have to deal with. Then you just pile on alcohol and you pile on all the shit foods. It's like, no,
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to stay as healthy as I can for as long as I can. And I want to be able to get out in the mornings and go and do and have energy. And man, alcohol just sucks the energy right out of me. And so matter of fact, I told Kent I was like, man, I just don't want to drink anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of, it's funny we're talking about that because I just was like, because I had started incorporating it back in, like, man, an espresso martini is really good. I don't really drink beer, but like sugary, like I'll go eat sushi and we'll have a drink beforehand. They make this thing called flirtini. It's really good. But I was like, man, then I don't feel like eating my food. And then you
Yep.
start overeating. That's the whole thing. It's the alcohol balance too. But then you want to go home and you're like, oh, I'm feeling good. Let me snack on whatever I can get my hands on. And so I feel better. I don't sleep well when I drink. So it's
Mm-mm.
just, it's just not for me. Now I'm not, if anybody wants to, that's on them. I'm just telling you how I feel. I just
Oh yeah.
don't, well, yeah. So not
Well,
saying
and
I
I
won't
think
ever, but
no, but I think what
yeah,
the deal is that we're way more aware now of how
yeah,
our body feels, right?
yes,
So they tell you to listen to your body, make sure you're hitting your like the food cues,
yeah,
or even the fullness cues.
yes,
And when you're have alcohol, a lot of our ambitions go. So the habits that we built are like, we eat protein first, but now it's like whatever you want to give me. I don't
yeah,
really care.
yeah.
Like
Let me have it.
the let me have all the things. I want
Yeah,
to go to like for us it was like Mexican food after we drink. It was like
yep.
give me all of the nachos. I want a
Oh my
chimichanga.
Give me
Like
the cheese dip, honey. Bring the large and just set it down right here. I'm gonna eat that.
yep.
Yep. Just bring it
Yep.
on.
So you just
Yep.
don't make good decisions when
No.
drinking. And that's
Mm-mm.
pretty normal actually, regardless of whether you had surgery or not. Like we
Yes.
just don't make good decisions. And the research that I've been reading is that now they're finding actually like cancers, like 5 different cancers that are related to just alcohol in general.
Yep.
So we are really learning it's poisoning your body. It's not helping your body by any means. And the whole point of us like, taking control of for our health is to like live longer lives. So why
Right.
would we throw in alcohol there? And of course it's fun. Why wouldn't we? Like culture wise, people want us to drink. We want to have
Yeah.
fun, but also do what feels good for you and don't
Right.
let people peer pressure you. Like I know me and Josie have both in situations where we felt like we probably should have just said yes
Yeah.
and had the drink. I will tell people that want to buy me drinks. It's like, do not buy me a sugary drink.
Yeah.
You just buy me a shot of
Yeah.
something. make sure it's chilled because I'm like, I want it down as fast as
Yeah.
possible. I don't really want to taste it. I also don't want all the sugary gunk that actually hurts your body and makes you feel dehydrated. Like, if you just take a shot of something, it's way easier for you to
Yes,
process.
you could get, well, and I normally will just have a little bit of it. I'm like, I can't do anymore. Here, drink it. I'll give it to someone if they want it. But I think it's, when somebody have it, well, I don't drink. Well, why not? It like if somebody says, well, and I heard this and I thought it was funny. It was like if somebody says, well, I don't do heroin, they're not going to say, well, why? Or, I
I
don't
know.
do crack. Okay, great. But like if you say I don't drink, well, why not? So it's the same poison. It's not as bad as of course I'm giving crazy examples, but it was just funny. And
No,
I'm like,
it's
man, that's
fair.
so true, because
Mhm.
you don't ask somebody why they're not doing crack, but
You
you don't, but you'll ask somebody, well, why don't you drink? Because I
Yeah.
don't want to, I don't, it doesn't make me feel good or whatever, but I just thought that was a funny comparison of, people, it's like some kind of, why not, so, or
Oh, they almost
you're the
are.
fun police if you're not drinking. I'm like, man, I can still
Yeah.
have the best time. I don't need alcohol, to do that. And
I
not saying
will.
I won't ever drink again or not saying you won't see me if
Yeah.
I'm at a restaurant having a drink. I'm just saying right now, I've just kind of made that decision of, man, I just need to cut that back out. So I feel
Yes.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
for you.
Same for you.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I feel better, guys. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't miss those hangovers.
No.
And even just like, this is how, like, I would say delicate my body is now is, so we did the bar crawl with the group from
Uh-huh.
retreat the first night. I didn't stay out that late. It was like maybe 11 when me and Shay were like, all right, we've hit our limit. We're going to go back to the Airbnb. The reason why I know for myself I did not go out for the rest of the week was because I was like, I feel fucking shitty. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't feel like normal me, and I want to be normal me when I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't drink every night. It's just not part of my system. It doesn't work well for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean,
I
and
say
kudos
find
to
what works well.
yeah, kudos to those people that I was like, man, kudos to y'all. They were, and that's New Orleans. That's what you do. But I was speaking in the thing.
Right.
I was and I was like, man, I can't be foggy. It's that same thing of foggy, and I wanted to be sharp because if anybody asked me questions, so it was just like, man, I can't do that. So. Not like I said, not saying I won't
Oh, I
ever
agree.
or celebration or something, but it just is when you
Yeah,
want to feel your best, it's just hard to do that. And kudos to them, man. I
I
see that
agree.
y'all are like down on Bourbon Street. I'm like, man, to be young again to do
Mm-hmm. And
that.
definitely,
So
I'm not gonna lie, I felt my
yeah,
age on that trip,
uh-huh.
100%.
Yes,
So
same
I was
girl,
like,
same.
shit,
Yeah,
I can't hang like I used
yeah,
to. This is wild.
yeah,
Well, before
yeah.
I let you go, give me some non-scale victories that you have gone through that you are so excited about.
One of my favorite things, and it's funny because my doctor's office asked me what was one of my, and it's crossing my legs. Like I'm crossing my legs right
Oh,
now. And I mean, I remember when I couldn't do that, and I would see other people. I was like, "Man, I'm sitting here looking like Sasquatch," So it's like kind of nice to be able to look like a lady and cross your legs. So I love that. And
absolutely.
wearing a belt, I didn't wear a belt for a long time because I wasn't showing my middle at all. Period.
Right.
Period. So being able to wear a belt is a non-scale victory too. I love that. So being able to
That's a
tie my
good one.
shoes, yeah, being able to bend down and tie my shoes without
Ooh.
thinking I was going to pass out. That's nice. Having the energy, to walk up and set because I remember showing houses and trying to hide, letting them go. Y'all go ahead. I'll catch up. I've got to do something down here in the
Uh-huh.
kitchen. And they'd walk, and I'm like, I'm going to die on the set of steps up here, like trying to hold that breath in and trying to talk about the house. I'm like, this is too much. It's too much.
Too
So,
much on the
yeah.
body.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm just thinking of like your little frame. I'm like trying to picture like 212-pound Josie walking up
Yeah.
these stairs and still trying to be like bubbly you without showing you're sweating and
Yep.
dying
Oh,
inside,
I'm
trying to
sweating
show a
like,
house.
yeah, sweat, armpits, all of it, girl. Like I was like, I'm sweating back of my neck, and then trying to not, trying to breathe, but trying not to be out of breath while you're talking to them and show them
Mhm.
in the house. So, yeah, yeah, that's definitely a
Oh,
non-scale victory.
that's gotta feel good that you can
Yes,
show houses now and not
yes,
have to worry about that at all.
yes, and not being self-conscious about what I'm wearing. That was a thing too. Like, um, being short and trying to find plus size pants, forget about it. Like,
Oh,
spend a
that would
ton.
have to be hard.
Yes. You don't think about
What
things like that.
was what was your
Yeah.
trick on that?
Usually a tailor, or
Oh,
cropped.
really?
You buy cropped pants. So yeah, have a
Okay.
good
Yep.
tailor. So you spend more money. You spend more money on the plus size, which I think is ridiculous, and then you spend more money to go into the tailor too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I remember going to the tailor every once in a while just
yeah,
because I wanted it to fit right, because like
yes,
nothing ever fits right.
right.
It's enough. It just
Yes,
covers the belly. The arms aren't showing. Yeah, it's a
yes,
whole thing. It's a
yes,
whole thing.
whole thing. Yes,
Well, one last thing
yes,
is for those that are listening that are still with us,
bless them.
all right, bless your
Yeah.
heart. We love you. Tell
Yes.
us, what kind of tips would you give them if they were, starting out looking into this?
Um, and I get asked that like with private messages and stuff, and I just tell them, do your research, get support, ask people. I did. I reached out to people, just asking questions. Hey, if they shared like on social media, and I'll tell you what I did that was really helpful. Is I went on Instagram, and I don't know if you know Leanne Nagel. I don't know if
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
she was I just went on Instagram and I put in VSG and just to see what popped up. Well, then she was really into, and I think she still is, but she was the first person that I saw that had the same body as me.
I
And
was
then
about to
she had
say, you
lost the
guys are
weight.
about the
Yeah,
same.
we're the same height. And
Hmm.
she had had surgery like the year before, and she was showing her picture. I was like, oh my God, could that be me? Like, is this possible? So that was the first
Wow.
thing is and I tell people like, get on Instagram and start looking at someone that you look like that you can be like, man, this could be me. And she was like
Hmm.
sharing tips and what she was doing and all that. And I was just in awe. And I remember the first bariatric retreat in San Antonio. And I was so scared. I went by myself and I was like, okay, if I meet one person, just something. And man, I started getting involved and I met her in person. Now, of course, I was fangirling, I was like, oh my God, Leanne. And she was just really helpful. I reached out to her and asked her questions. So I felt like I wasn't alone. So I
Oh, good.
started, even though people close at it, but outside of that, you can kind of be more vulnerable about asking because they don't know anybody anyway. They're not going to tell if you're worried about that. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
and and I will say, whatever you're feeling or whatever you're going through, I guarantee you there's somebody that's feeling it or going through it or wants to know about it. I know you think that like that first year when you have gas really bad. I always say that in my support group. You don't think anybody's going. Well, there is someone that's having
Oh,
those
there
same
is.
gas pains. Believe me, like Phase becomes your new friend. So and it's in this community. The questions are not awkward or weird or
Mm-mm.
like if you say, oh man, I'm having pains in my tummy, what could that be? Or man, I haven't pooped in 5 days, like what's or not 5 but 3 what's happening, like you can try.
Yeah.
So they're not weird questions. They're like when you eat and you eat 3 bites, it's just you really have a community that's here to help you really and truly. So I kind of
Mm.
squirreled a little bit, but all that
No, I love
is
it. I
yeah.
love it.
So
Well,
yeah,
because you're right. Like all those things, like think about it. Like
yeah.
look at the other people. And I'm happy you found Leanne because right when you said her name, I'm like, oh, you guys are like the same body
Oh
type.
yeah,
Like
well you're
that's
literally
fucking
the same
wild.
body type. Yeah, and she kind of
Like,
went through that regain. She's like at the second retreat, she was like, I've gained. I was like, I couldn't see it, but it's
right.
that mental thing. I'm like, man, I'm feeling it. We have kind of the same personality, and I think she's cycling or something. I need to talk to her. But that was the first person that I really started following on VSG, like just trying to figure out like what that she was the one
Yeah.
telling me about bariatric society because she's friends with Stephanie and so
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't know anything about it. But yeah, that was the
Well,
yeah.
I think that's the perfect way to get in. Either go on Instagram or TikTok, find people. You can always count on me to help you find other people if you need it. I'm big on community. Like
Yes.
you need each other for this to work. I do
Yes.
believe if I did not start this podcast and if I did not immerse myself in this community, I don't think I would be as successful as I am right now. So I give a lot of my props to the community because they're there for us more than you think they are.
Yeah.
And they're listening, they're watching. They might not be commenting or liking or sharing every time, but they're watching.
Hmm.
They're there
Yes.
helping in the background. So just know you have supporters. If you need help, message Josie. Josie, tell
Yes.
them where they can find you at.
You can call me, you can message me on social media, you can email me. Do I need to give my email? Does that matter?
No, but what's
Okay.
your handle at
Oh,
least?
sorry, at Josie Sells Homes. Yeah. And then
Josie
oh,
sells
at
homes.
Josie Sells Homes, imagine that. And then Josie Baker Wilson on Facebook. And I'm literally happy to answer anything that you want to know. I'm very, very thankful for this community. Like, so glad that we got to talk. I saw you at the award show. Like, that come from the retreat I was at. They were talking about your award show. And I'm like, what is this you speak of? I need to know.
Yeah.
And so I'd met some new faces when we went to California, and I was like, and it was like literally wasn't long after that. It was like the award
Mm-mm.
show, and so I was like, oh, let me see if I got airline miles. What's happening? And so I was like, I was
Yeah.
having FOMO really bad, so I was like, oh, and man, that award show was y'all. You did such a great job, really and truly. Like I
Aw.
loved it. I had the best time in St. Louis. I really did. So it
Thank
was
you.
fun.
And this
So
one's coming again. It's literally April 24th of 2027. Everybody's got
yes.
plenty of time to prepare. I know Josie's got my back. She will be there.
Girl, I'm going. Listen, I was like, when it's funny because when you start going to these things and you're like, oh, I want to do that. Like when I was in the fashion show the first year, I went the first year and wasn't in the fashion show at the retreat. And then I was like, oh, I want to do that. And then Trisha, a friend of mine, saw me. I was like, man, I'm going to do that next year. And she's incredible and she did it. And I love that for her. But when I was at the award show, I was like, ooh, I want to present next time. So you start doing that. You're like, oh, and that's how you become more and more involved in doing. And then I was like, oh, I want to teach. And so I'm just a big advocate for weight loss surgery. I really am. I think it's a very, very good tool used the correct way. It really and truly is. And like I always say, don't pay attention to the negative Nellies because you're going to have those negative Nellies out
No
there.
matter what.
And they don't matter. It could be a family member. They've heard cousins twice. Uncle Bob removed that somebody it didn't work for them. They gained their weight. Well, what in the hell did they use the tools they had? Did they start eating whatever? Did they eat fried foods? Like know the whole story, but man, I'm so thankful. I just have to balance real estate and this. I want to do both. So I really,
Yeah.
really love this community. I really do. It
Well,
has my heart. It's my passion. So I love it.
You're doing it, girl.
Yeah.
And you will be a presenter. I'm going to
Yeah.
put those out January 1st. I will
Yeah.
release the volunteer list. So for everybody you get a full month of you have time to volunteer. Tell me what you're good at, what you want to help with. I know this time around, I'm just going to say it on here is that like every volunteer, I just want you guys to be prepared to like, maybe you can help find me a sponsor. That's what we need for Just Be You Bariatrics. Like, make sure we got some sponsors coming in. So I want some new ones, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I love the ones that we have. And I know that some of these will be repeaters because
I hope Devotion Nutrition, Dana, you have to
Oh.
be there. I love her.
you
She's
know
so awesome.
her.
Yes,
She's
she's
one of my
amazing.
favorite people.
Yeah, she's one of my
and
favorite people.
She was at the last one. So
Yes.
the goal is to have her again for 2027. So
Yeah.
this
Are
will
you
be a
going to
lot
tell
of
where
fun.
it is, or are you keeping it a secret?
Oh no, I have announced it is in
Okay.
Oregon. It's going to be in
Yes.
Ashland, Oregon.
Okay.
Again, April 24th of 2027. I have a bunch of stuff already planned from Thursday to Sunday. And there's going to be an actual bodybuilding bariatric show. So that way it's just for bariatric people that are even GLP-1 people. Anybody that's on a weight loss journey can join the bodybuilding the night before.
Wow.
JBY yeah, and you won't get your award until JBY. So it's great. You get to go on stage, you get to do all your posing. We'll get to hear your story, the before and after, and then your award will actually be given at the award show.
Oh, I might have to look into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool. A lot of us are doing it. I'll be one of the mains. Me and Rob are going to be one of the main people. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And
Oh.
we can't wait to have as many people sign up because it is going to be just like us. Like that's the part that I love. It's just us. So
Yeah.
no judgment, safe place. You can totally be who you are. You can come out to whatever song you want to come out to. Like,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
it was
good
so
time.
fun. Like I really, really enjoyed it. I was like, I'm going to put good vibes out there. You get a team, and we do it every year. So that's
Yes.
I would
That's
love
what
that.
I need. If we want it every year, I need a team.
Yes,
I need a dedicated team.
I
just for
remember you saying
JBY.
that. So I'm putting
Yeah.
vibes out there. That's going to happen.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I love
see?
it, Josie.
That's
Well,
right.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on to the podcast and letting people know who you are. You're such a delight. I love you so much. And if you guys need any help, you can always go ask her for help, come to me. And until next time, guys, remember, take your vitamins. I have ProCare right here. Drink your water, get your protein in, get that sleep in, and of course, do not be an asshole to one another.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes.